What's up, my beautiful houseplant friends? My name is Sydney. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are brand new to my channel, I want to encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below because it helps my channel grow. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Yay! Today I am going to be showing everyone all of my Sansevieria. Alright, houseplant friends, let's get real for a minute. I have already recorded this video and it took me 2 freaking hours. I had to scrap all of the footage. I just felt like my energy was really off and I wanted this video to be very fun and relaxing for you all, so here I am to re-record this video. I am going to bring out all of my Sansevieria into my dining room so I can show you all. I have about 30-ish. I went through a really crazy Sansevieria phase where I pretty much just bought any Sansevieria I wanted and that was unique. Sansevieria are not talked about a lot in the houseplant community, or as much as I feel like they should be. So a lot of the Sansevieria you will see in this video are going to be uncommon or even rare, and I do have a few common ones. I am going to try to mix it up as I go. Maybe like 1 or 2 common ones, then an uncommon or a rare, however I do it, so that you all don't get bored, because I want you to enjoy this video. Just to give you a forward warning, your Sansevieria wish list might grow just a little bit. I'm telling you, the obsession with Sansevieria is real. And before you say anything, my friends, I know Sansevieria was reclassified as Dracaena. I know. I will put a link to Summer Rain Oaks' video where she talks about why it was reclassified and things like that if you are interested. For the sake of this video and familiarity, I will be referring to these plants as Sansevieria. Let's go ahead and get started because I have a lot to show you all today. Okay friends, this is the first Sansevieria I want to show you, and this is the Sansevieria Sayuri. So as you can see, it does have a really good mix of that white, light green, and dark green variegation. This is a seriously beautiful Sansevieria, and the leaves are a lot thicker than they look in pictures, which is why I actually love this plant. Super beautiful. So if you like white variegation and you like Sansevieria, I would highly recommend this. Okay, next Sansevieria is the Sansevieria Night Owl. This one is actually not doing well, which is really disappointing. It's very dehydrated. Let me get some close-ups so you can see. So as you can see, it is pretty wrinkly right here, but I absolutely love that silverish tone that it has with those little specks of dark green. And right here, I think it's a little overwhelmed with water right here, so I do have to unpot this and see what's going on. But yeah, that is a very small Sansevieria Night Owl. Okay, this is one of my absolute favorite Sansevieria. This is the Sansevieria Kirkii Silver Blue. Stunning Sansevieria. Let me get some close-ups. It is absolutely stunning. Look at that variegation. It almost reminds me of the Whale Fin Sansevieria variegation. And as you can see, it does have this really dry look to the margins of the leaves here. And that is one of my favorite aspects of a Sansevieria. I actually got this one for free from a little Plant Pals thing that I did on Instagram that Marina from Millennial Planter told me about. And if you want a little bit of a close-up on what the growth pattern looks like, there you go. It's a really beautiful plant. So that is the Sansevieria Kirkii Silver Blue. Next Sansevieria is a Sansevieria Black Moon, and I know this one does look a lot like the regular Trifaciata, but let me get a close-up and show you why it's different. I actually got this plant from the Atlanta Victorian, and it's absolutely beautiful. So as you can see, each leaf is a little bit different. Now, I would say the main difference is this yellow variegation we have here, as well as some of the leaves do not have too much light green, and it does grow in that bird's nest form. Look at that variegation. I love these stripes of yellow, and I also love how some of the leaves do not even have that much of the light green variegation, so they almost look black. So yeah, Sansevieria Black Moon. All right, friends, next Sansevieria is the Sansevieria Subspicata. Now, if I incorrectly pronounce these names, it's probably because not a lot of people talk about Sansevieria, so I don't hear these names spoken out loud too often. So be patient with me, but of course it's up on the screen so you are able to search for these plants. Let me get some close-ups. So this one does have like that same growth pattern of the Kirkii, but as you can see, It is such subtle variegation. These leaves are absolutely stunning. And I know the light is shining on it a little bit, but if you can see, it's mainly just green with very subtle hints of lighter green. And this plant is so beautiful. So if you can see the growth pattern, how it's very similar to the Kirkii. So yeah, this is the Sansevieria Subspicata. All right, so here I have two Sansevieria. This is the Sansevieria Fernwood Milcado, and this is the Sansevieria Fernwood Dwarf. Let me get some close-ups and show you all how cute these are. So here is that Sansevieria Fernwood Milcado, and it is absolutely the cutest little thing. Okay, so as you can see, it does have that light green and dark green variegation. Absolutely beautiful plant, and we tend to have these really big leaves in our collection. And the reason why I like this is not only it's small, but it also has a really unique shape to the leaves that we do not have a lot in our collection. So I think this is a really good just pop of uniqueness in your collection. So I would highly recommend this one. It's super cute. Okay, so this is the little teeny dwarf one that I have. I just think it's the cutest thing in this pot. So these are the Fernwood Sansevierias. Okay, next Sansevieria is the Sansevieria Fischerii. This one is so freaking cool. So it almost reminds me of the Sansevieria Hahnii, which I will show you next. What I love about this plant is the very intense light green and dark green variegation. And it of course has that really dry margin to the outside of the leaves that I love so much about Sansevieria. It also has an indentation running all down through the leaf, the center of the leaf, which I think is just super cool. So this is the Sansevieria Fischerii. Now let me go grab the Hahnii for you. This is the Sansevieria Hahnii, and it also has that indentation down the center of the leaves. The one thing that I will say is that the light green variegation on this plant is not as striking as the Fischerii, and this one specifically does get a lot larger than the Fischerii. As you can see, the light green is almost like a silvery green, and then it has that silvery dark green. So yeah, this one's pretty big if you can see. Doing a head test with these Sansevieria is really weird, but yeah. So this one, oh, this one is pretty large. So since these leaves are very thick, you always want to remember with Sansevieria with thicker leaves, the thicker the leaves, the less you have to water, because these leaves hold a good amount of water. So honestly, I water this one about once a month and it's doing perfectly fine. I apologize for the lighting. The sun is coming in and out of the clouds, but this right here is my huge Sansevieria Trifaciata. This one is the very common Sansevieria. We see it everywhere, but honestly, I love this plant. Let me show you why. The variegation on these leaves is absolutely beautiful, and it really is a huge statement piece in my living room. So really, if you want to start out with Sansevieria, I would highly recommend starting out with one of the very common Trifaciatas that you see in all of the stores. They will not disappoint, and they offer you such a good structural difference in your plant collection. Seriously, these are just stunning. Sansevieria Trifaciata, go get you one. And just really quickly, this is my other Sansevieria Trifaciata, which I really want to show you this cute leaf. So this leaf just came out on this plant, and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's a gorgeous one. And look how long that leaf is. Okay, moving on. I know my camera is a little weird right now, but the lighting is impossible to manage. I'm so sorry. This is my huge Sansevieria Whale Fin, and I have a bigger one, which I will not show you until the very end because it's amazing, and it is definitely my favorite out of all of my Sansevieria. I'm obsessed. This is the Sansevieria Whale Fin, and as you can see, I mean, head test, so it's way bigger than my head. Let me get some close-ups because you have to see this variegation. Look at that variegation. The whale fins have the best variegation in my opinion. I love the specks of light green, dark green, and of course, as you can see, it does have that really dry margin to the outside of the leaves. So this is actually another one that I got in that Plant Pal thing that I did on Instagram, and I cannot believe I got this for free. Okay, so this is a variegated whale fin. I did see these being called beaver tail variegation. Not 100% sure why, but each variegated whale fin is so different. So I have gotten about 4 or 5 of them, which I will show you, of course. Look at the back of that leaf. Isn't that amazing? I love that white and then the traditional whale fin variegation, as well as that really silverish white. Oh, it's so beautiful. So yes, this is one of my many variegated whale fins. And head test, it's pretty big. They take a while to open back up after they've been dehydrated, but it does happen eventually. Do not overwater them. It takes some time for them to draw back that water into the leaves, so just be patient. Speaking of dry and dehydrated Sansevieria, this is my Sansevieria Silver Laurentii. This one is so beautiful and I cannot wait until it opens up and rehydrates. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so as you can see, it does have a silver stripe through the center of the leaves. Now the traditional Laurentii have a very bright green margin to the leaves and a really dark green center. It is a little difficult to show you because it's so dehydrated, but if you can see, that's a good little close-up. I know it's really wrinkly. I will post pictures when this does rehydrate because I'm very excited for it. Dehydrated Sansevieria Laurentii. Moving on. Okay, so this one is the Sansevieria Fischerii Singularis. Now I bought this on Amazon, the first and probably only plant I will buy on Amazon. I don't know for sure if the name of it is correct, if it was correctly ID'd. I will show you a close-up. I really am gonna have to wait for this plant to mature to fully ID it. So if you can ID it, let me know. I know it does look really similar to the Kirkii, but like I said, I won't know what it is until it grows a lot more, which it has gotten a lot bigger, but I absolutely love that variegation. Sansevieria Fischerii Singularis, apparently. We will see, still not sure. Moving on. Okay, this next one is very cute. I know it's a little dehydrated. It has some burning on the leaves. It's recovering. I'm being patient with it. I don't mind. So this is the Sansevieria Pinguicula. That is the funniest name. Okay, close-up time. As you can see, it does have some yellow spots, which does not bother me, especially with Sansevieria. I don't mind if they look a little rough. It almost adds to their really rugged look, in my opinion. Since I recently got this one, it does still need to rehydrate. But yeah, it is cutest thing. So I really love the bluish hue that it has to the leaves, and it does grow a lot differently than the Samurai, where the Samurai is gonna come outward and be more flat in the center. This grows like a star. Let me grab the Samurai to show you the difference. As you can see, the Sansevieria Samurai is very smooth looking and does not have that bluish hue to it. It also grows a lot flatter than the Pinguicula. That's a mouthful. Do you see the difference there in color and growth pattern? But both of them are absolutely stunning. The Samurai is just so freaking cute. Let me tell you, these are probably the pokiest Sansevieria. Samurai and Pinguicula. All right, next Sansevieria is the Sansevieria Hahnii Jade. If I'm wrong about that, I will put the correct name up on the screen, of course. Now this one is rehabilitating. It has no roots and it was rotted. So I'm just hoping that it recovers very well. I'll give you a close-up. There's not much to look at right now, but I do love how subtle these leaves are. You can see it is really kind of struggling, but I do have faith that I can bring her back. Not much to look at, so let's go ahead and move on. This plant is one of my favorites. I love the growth pattern of it. I will show you close-ups in a minute. I got this in a trade. This is a Sansevieria Trifaciata banded Nelsonii, or more commonly known as the green mermaid. Let's get some close-ups. It will remind you a lot of the Sansevieria Whitney, which I will show you next just to show you a difference, but they are completely different. Let me show you. So the growth pattern is very straight up, and if you can see the variegation, it does have that outside margin of light green and dark green right here. I know the sun is shining on it. It's harder to get my camera to focus on these really shiny Sansevieria, but you can see that pretty clearly right here. Light green, dark green, and the center is almost black. It's beautiful. And let me show you little baby. Oh, it's so cute. You can also tell that the growth pattern is very different right here. If you can see how it grows, let me grab the Whitney to show you a comparison. All right, let's hope I don't drop any of these. So this is the Green Mermaid and this is the Sansevieria Whitney. If you can see the difference in the growth pattern, this one is a lot more narrow and this one does fan out almost in that bird's nest form. Let me show you a close-up of the Whitney. So there's a close-up. The leaves are very similar. These leaves are wider and as I mentioned, they spread out a lot more. But look at that. That is absolutely stunning. I love the margins on these leaves. It's gorgeous. Okay, so Sansevieria Whitney, Sansevieria banded Nelsonii, and it's a lot darker too. The center of the leaves are very, very dark. These two are super cute though. Moving on. This one is the cutest freaking thing. So this is my Sansevieria golden Hahnii. I love this one. And you all might remember this one from my black owned plant shop haul that I did. And remember I mentioned I love that there are twins. Look at that variegation. Such a gorgeous plant. If you are looking for a compact Sansevieria that will add color to your collection, I would highly recommend this one. It's gorgeous and it really does add such a happy, bright pop of color to my collection. I love it. So last close up here, Sansevieria golden Hahnii. Next one, and I will do another comparison because I personally got these two mixed up. This one is the Sansevieria Bantel Sensation. This one is the Sansevieria Bantel Sensation. So a lot of people get this mixed up with the Sayuri, but as you can see, the leaves are a lot more narrow. Each leaf is very, very different, if you can see that. Look at this one. So it does have like that white variegation with that outside margin of light and green variegation. Let me grab the Sayuri to show you the difference. So here is the Sayuri and here is the Bantel Sensation. Both are really good if you want some white variegation to your Sansevieria collection. As you can see, the Sayuri has much wider leaves and the Bantel Sensation is a lot more thin than the Sayuri. Okay, so this one, I am going to put the name up on the screen. I think it's Jobii. Just go based off of what is on the screen. But this plant was actually really difficult to rehab. So when I got it in the mail, it was pretty crispy. As you can see, here's one of the dead leaves. I actually had to get a replacement for this plant. These leaves are much thinner than the typical Sansevieria, so it actually does not ship as well as most Sansevieria. But as you can see here, it does have a little baby. So now just a close up on these leaves and it gets very, very large. I mean, this Sansevieria gets really big. So it's just a subtle bright green with some really light green variegation throughout the plant. And when it gets big, it is absolutely stunning. Okay, moving on. Trying not to knock anything over. This is the hardest video. This one right here is, what is it? Oh gosh. Y'all, this name is so hard to pronounce. Sansevieria Suffruticosa. It's up on the screen though. Let's just get some close-ups. This is such a freaking cool Sansevieria. I accidentally damaged the leaf, but it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. It's gorgeous though. Look at the growth pattern. So it's actually really big too. Okay, head test. I'm gonna poke myself in the eye with, oh, okay. No head test, abort. Let me show you a close-up of the leaves. It has that traditional striping. Very, very pokey. These are really good if you want to just add a different, I want to say texture or just structure to your collection. Moving on. We're almost done. Okay. This is another one of my variegated whale fins, and this one is really dehydrated. So of course I just have to be patient with it. They do rehydrate, but look at that variegation. Has a ton of that like yellowish white variegation. It's really beautiful. These are really hard to showcase because they're still super dehydrated. So as you can see, it's much different than the other variegated whale fin. I just knocked over a plant. Okay, so as you can see, the variegation on these two is very, very different. So that's why I got a whole bunch of variegated ones because they're all so different. I don't know. I went crazy. Next Sansevieria is the Sansevieria Canniculata. Okay, here's a close-up. There's an old flower, but as you can see, the leaves are cylindrical. If you want something that is cylindrical but simple without that light green, dark green striping, I would highly recommend this plant. Okay, finally, it is time for my 5 favorite Sansevieria. This is one of my other variegated whale fins, and this type of variegation, if you are curious, it is called white mediopicta variegation. Seriously, beautiful. So the entire center of this plant is white, and it has that dark and light green margin to the outside of the leaves. From what I understand, the type of variegation is relatively stable. It took me a very long time to find this plant. It's really difficult to find, but it is out there. So if you really want one, go for it, because look at that. And it has opened up a lot, but it's still opening up. When I got it, it was pretty dehydrated. Most Sansevieria are going to be pretty dehydrated when you get them. Y'all ready for the next one? Okay, next Sansevieria is the Sansevieria Kirkii Coppertone. Sorry, I'm looking in the screen. I just want to make sure you all are able to see. So just a close up. This plant is so freaking cute. It's actually what started my obsession with Sansevieria, and while I was looking for this one, I just happened to find a ton of Sansevieria I wanted. Really beautiful. This is the one that looks dead. If you've seen this and thought it was dead, yes. This is the Coppertone Kirkii. It just looks like that. Very dried out. All right, moving on. Here's my last variegated whale fin. It is stunning, and I got this one in a trade. I don't really like yellow variegation on Sansevieria too much. I think too much is just really overwhelming, but let me get a close-up because this variegation is really special. All right, so as you can see, the variegation is yellow, but it's almost like a lime green, and the streaks are very thin. There's a lot of that lime green variegation, and look at that, it has a little baby leaf. So I'm really excited about that. I usually like the white variegation on the whale fins, but when I saw this one, I had to have it. Look at that. That lime green variegation is so unique, which is why it's definitely one of my favorites. All right, next favorite. Okay, so this next one is really small, but it's still super cute. Okay, so here's my Sansevieria Cleopatra. Look at that. Isn't that variegation just absolutely beautiful? And I actually kind of like that it's pretty small, because I just think that adds to its really cuteness. And oh, the backside of the leaves are really cool too. They're like this really milky bluish green with little tiny stripes of dark green, and then you flip it and look at that striking variegation. I love it. So Sansevieria Cleopatra. All right, this next one, you might have seen it on my Instagram. Amazing plant, just absolutely amazing. This is a Sansevieria Mutated Golden Wendy. Now I know with this high of variegation, it's going to be a weaker plant, but I really don't care. It's so worth it. So these leaves do have a twisting, curling growth pattern. If you just look at that variegation, it really is absolutely beautiful. Now this one is rehydrating as well. If you're wondering why it looks a little wrinkly, because she needs to rehydrate. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous plant, and I definitely do not see these being sold around much. Now I will tell you, I got it off of Etsy, so I don't know if there are any left, but I would check there if you want it. Mutated Golden Wendy. I just knocked over another plant, but anyway, here is my last Sansevieria, my favorite all-time, most beautiful Sansevieria. Brace yourself. Yeah, this is my beautiful Sansevieria Masoniana or Whale Fin Sansevieria. Yes, this is the other one that I got for free. I don't know how I got this for free. I mean, seriously, the lady who was my plant pal was just so generous. It's huge, and I also just love the structure of it. It's really beautiful. It's like a sculpture. It's just like a statement piece in my collection, really. I really think this might be my favorite plant aside from my Philodendron pastazanum, because of how just unique and structurally beautiful this plant is. So just for some close-ups. Now you all have seen a close-up of the whale fin, but so beautiful. Okay, friends, so what did you think? What was your favorite Sansevieria? Did I add to your wish list? Let me know what you thought about this video. Please, friends, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and commenting on this video really does help my channel grow as well, so please take the time and comment. I don't really care what you comment. It could be anything about Sansevieria, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, my friends, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! What's that? Huh. What is happening? All right. Whoa. As well as, I don't know if you can see, but it does. Whoa. Okay, this one is super cute and it has a bluish. Ooh. If you think you can say it better than I can. Suffruticosa. Suffruticosa. Bye.